In the 9 playing portion of the season, we came out with our list. We went full lists of our top teams in the SEC and Big Ten, and we broke them down by division, some of them. And my happy fat ass came out here and said that I'm picking Missouri to be number 2 in the SEC East. And I, like a dummy, I did not pick Missouri to win in Como. I didn't. I should have.
I don't know why.
They're probably going to be the second best team in the East. But here's the thing. Cody Schrader, what a performance. 205 yards on the ground, 116 yards through the air. He just obliterated. Now, Joe, that's not the biggest thing for me. You know what I took away from this game?
What?
My buddy was over here, and I looked at him. I'm like, dude, is it just me, or does Missouri feel like that they've had the ball all game? Joe, they had the ball for 39 minutes, 39 plus minutes in this game, almost 40 minutes of control. It's insane. They went for 11 for 14 on third down. It was actually 39 minutes and 56 seconds. Okay. 11 of 17 on third down. Eli Drinkwitz said that he wanted revenge, and my God, did he get it?
I think that Eli Drinkwitz, and I was kind of alluding to this earlier, deserves credit for what he has done in this.
He was on the hot seat at the beginning of the year, Joe. He was on the hot seat.
Which is ridiculous. I think that if we look at the sample size of the recruiting that he's produced, he has brought in some fantastic football players. And Brady Cook's going to be out the door because he's a fifth year or whatever he is. But I've heard the Sam Horn kid, who was a highly recruited quarterback coming in, might be great. I'm sure that they could even be in the conversation for a bigger name transfer portal quarterback. This team is just, it's fun to watch. It's not like
fun to watch.
It's not like most of the SEC teams that we see on a year-to-year basis. It's kind of like what Tennessee was last year, where they can spread the field, they can put up a ton of points. They've got some really athletic receivers. They've got a quarterback who when he's on, and they play really, really well. I have to reiterate here, though, a point that I have had that has not been very well received, and I think was proven by the way that Tennessee played and the way that Ole Miss played. I have said this over and over again, Blake. Tennessee and Ole Miss were unjustifiably propped up after they played Alabama. They were, for no reason whatsoever, not having any positives to take away from their games this season. For some reason, they kept getting moved up and moved up in the rankings.
Well, they kept winning.
They kept winning, but against nobody. And that's what I'm getting at here, is that I don't know why with both of these teams, we dove too deep in. We dove way too deep in. It's one thing to rank them highly because of the record, but to assume that they were going to play competitively with their opponents this weekend was just not on the table for me. I really didn't think that it was going to happen, and I said that in the previews that we did. The top 3 teams in the SEC, top 4 teams, after that, after LSU, there's a massive drop-off. There's a pretty massive drop-off. I don't think that these teams are as good as they usually are in that second tier of teams in the SEC.
Well, I do think that LSU would be third there because they beat Missouri. Okay, but here's the thing. I think the West is deeper than the East.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
From top to bottom. I mean, when you have arguably the third best team in the West, beating the second best team in the East, they have 5 teams. Joe, the SEC has 5 teams that are pretty good. Not amazing, but pretty good. I don't think the Big Ten does.
I don't.
Let me say this. I think Ole Miss, Missouri, LSU, all 3 of them beat Penn State. I think 2 of those teams beat.
I don't think Ole Miss beats Penn State. I don't think that that's the case.
Joe, they can't score.
But Ole Miss's defense can't stop anybody.
Sure, sounds good. They can't score. You know why? Drew Allar's missing wide-ass open dudes. Did you see that PFF metric that he missed? 9 dudes, Joe, that were wide open. 9.
He didn't play great. But I don't think that it is a foregone conclusion to say that
it's a foregone conclusion.
See, I knew that we're never going to agree on that.
In reference to Missouri, Joe, let me tell you why they're fun to watch. Really fun to watch too. Cody Schrader. We talked about him a lot last week. Dude, I'm going to tell you this. I know you're going to disagree. I'm a little biased here because I love watching him play. I think he's a top 5 back coming out.
In the draft? No.
Name other backs better than him.
Bucky Irving. If Jonathan Brooks didn't get hurt, he would be up there. Raheem Sanders is Trey Benson.
I think he's better than overall than Raheem's.
Raheem Sanders a better athlete. Raheem Sanders will have a much longer NFL career.
He's not. Can I tell you why?
Cody Schrader's just a guy.
He's
a really good football player. He played a great game, but he's just a guy.
Rocket Sanders is not a better overall prospect than Cody Schrader?
Why?
He can't catch the motherfucker.
He's still 240 pounds, and he's going to probably run in the low 4.5s.
And he's going to be like Eddie Lacy if he's not careful. He's going to eat himself out the league.
He's not fat though. He's built, man.
He's 252 right now.
He's built though. He's built like a linebacker.
I don't give a shit what he's built like. He can't. Cody Schrader is Alton Eckler.
He just is not nearly as athletic as a lot of other guys on other teams. Devin Neal is another one that I would go with. DJ Giddens, I go with.
He's running away from Georgia last week. What are we talking about here? What do you mean he's not?
He had good games, but I don't think that. And he's physical, and he's a great college back, Blake. But I think that there's a separation between him being a good college back and being an NFL prospect. I texted with some people that I trust because I had the same thought. I was like, where does he maybe fit? And they agreed with my sentiment that I think that he's more just a guy. He's going to be a day 3 pick.
In 2 years, when we're sitting here and he's top 10 in the league in rushing, don't
put that on him. Please don't put that on him.
All right, but look, in reference to this game, big time win in Como. I told you that this place gets spooky during the winter or during the fall. It was my number one thing. I was like, listen, don't think you can waltz into Como and win. Como is a weird place to play. Their fans are rowdy, and Tennessee didn't have a chance.